Hey guys, just got back from work. Today went well. I make it sound like my job is awful. It's not. I actually need to stop complaining. It's not good. My job is easy. No. I've created a condition so that my job is easy. If you actually know what you're doing and work on the right things, amazingly, things get better. One of the things I've been noticing. Sorry, I keep doing that. I'm sorry. Anyway, one of the things I keep noticing is when I'm trying to date is I work on myself. I work on myself a lot. I go to the gym. Sorry, that was a must do. I go to the gym. My sister's a therapist, so I spent 2 months while I was still living with my ex. The divorce started April 11th, so we're crawling up on 2 years now. Until June, every day I would talk to her for 2 to 3 hours. So I got free therapy. It was awesome. Most of the time she told me I was full of crap. It's okay. I was. My delusions run deep. I need to get over them. But yeah, so did my therapy. Thank God it was free. Did my exercising. Did a lot of hiking. And being out in nature for an INFJ is like, it's just wonderful. It's where I get power from. All of my energy comes from just solitude, quiet, and just being able to mindlessly move through the world. So that was good. But this is the stuff I do. And now I'm doing this. This is a lot of therapy for me. I get to talk stuff out. And then I get to watch myself. And that's really entertaining because I'm a goofball. And I appreciate that about me. And watching myself, it's actually kind of like, you sit there and you're like, I do that, don't I? And a couple other things that I've noticed about my speech that I'm either going to work on or I'm just going to say, I think it's cute, I'm going to keep it. We'll see. So, I've done all this. Then you walk out into the world and you talk to guys. And they've not done any of it. I had this, oh my God, I love this guy. His name's Josh. He's in the Air Force. If he watches this, so what? Josh, I'm not outing you. I'm just saying. But, part of what he told me was the reason why we couldn't date. Don't want to do my hands at the moment. We couldn't date was he hadn't worked on his stuff. He has stuff that he needs to work on. That's his. I'm not going any further than that. But it's like, wait a minute. You have to work on stuff. I can't be the only person in a relationship that is working on making myself better. And I'm making myself better for me. That's highly important. This work I'm doing is for me. The end result might be that I'm then able to walk into a relationship and not have all these demons that followed me from like the other relationships I've been in. And in my worldview, that is a plus. And hopefully in all y'all's worldview, that is a plus. The only nice thing that comes out of Southern, the dialect, is the term all y'all, because it is like the most inclusive thing I've ever heard in my life. Good job. There's other things. I'm not picking up people from down south. I live like right here next to Kentucky, and they have such a cute accent. Oh my God. You give me a Kentucky accent and cowboy boots, and you're pretty much, it's hot. That's a whole different topic. I'm sorry. I'm just like meandering for a second. So it's just been brutal getting to know somebody, getting a week, and then you find out flaws. And I'm okay with flaws. You have all the flaws you want. Just be working on the stuff that's causing you issues and making it so you can't be in a relationship. That would be a plus. It's fun to be dumped because you're too self-aware. You have your shit together. You know how a relationship should work. I'm sorry, I got an itch. It's devastating. And then step back and say, okay, this is not my person. next, and the next person comes in, talks about, oh my God, you know, you're such a wonderful guy, blah, blah, blah. And then a week later. And like I said, truth serum. I am truth serum. So I've had a number of guys that just bleed out all of their trauma while we're talking. And I'm sitting there like, this is good. You know, wow, I can't believe that you trusted me enough to tell me all this stuff. And then the next day, yeah, I can't talk to you anymore. You're too intense. And I'm like, I'm intense. Okay, maybe you're seeing something I'm not. I think I'm pretty calm. I will go into details. I will drill if you let me. You have to let me. Otherwise, I just stop. But it's like, you know, they'll start talking and they just keep talking. And the well gets deeper. And I just sit there and wonder with them while they tell me. I'll give you some examples. I had a guy explain to me that he had been raped. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I am so sorry. I don't know what to do with this information. Thank you for sharing. If you need anything, let me know. I'm here for you. I you know, obviously I'm not that kind of person. I would never put you through that kind of trauma. But we can figure out how to manage this, you know, depending on what you want to do. I think, you know, therapy would be awesome. I think there's survival groups that would be really good for you, you know. And the next day, ghosted. And what he'd said before he ghosted me was, that got too intense. I can't handle it. And then a couple months later, he reaches out to me because something on Snapchat, which don't ask me anything about Snapchat. I'm trying not to be on it at all. It's too much work. So he reached out to me and I said, hey, how have you been doing? And he's like, I've been doing well. I said, can I ask you what happened? And he said, yeah, I had too many feelings pop up after I talked to you, and I can't deal with that. It's too intense for me. I'm like, I make you have feelings that are too intense for you to deal with. Cool. Thank you. Always say thank you. You can hurt me any way you want to, and I will say thank you. Because I don't have to deal with you anymore. And I can start shredding all the information I've been gathering, trying to come up with how I could fit these two lives together. And it just goes, and then a new person comes up and starts talking. And it's like, you're a lot of work. You, humanity, are a lot of work. And for somebody like me that's trying to put stuff together, to try to figure out how to manage stuff and make life easier for everybody involved, because that's what I do, which is why I'm a really good quality engineer. It's just to plug that in there. But yeah, it's the word is devastating. There's another word. I'm sure there's a whole cacophony of words that talk about exactly how exasperating it is to be this person, and to have guys just like get excited. You can see the excitement, you can feel it, you can hear it, you can smell it. And then they come to the realization that they've gone too far. They didn't pay attention to their boundaries. They didn't pay attention to their needs. They didn't pay attention to anything. They just ran. And then they back off, and it's up to me to take a deep breath and say, thank you. I hope this wasn't too depressing. It's just, you're rambling through my brain. I believe all feelings matter. I'm allowed to feel anything. Anger. We were taught not to have anger when I was a kid. My parents were like, no angry. And that's not right. But all feelings matter. You need to feel your feels. Just grab onto them, do what you need to do with them, and then let them go. Happiness is not eternal. It's not a perfect state of being. It's just one state of being. Being depressed is a state of being. People say, oh, you shouldn't be depressed. Dude, don't tell me how to live my life. Don't tell me how to feel my feels. I want to feel depressed. I don't want to feel depressed. But if there's a point where I need to be depressed, I'm going to live it. And then on the other side of it, I owned it. So you have to own these things. And unfortunately, what we're finding out is people don't own anything anymore. They don't own their recovery. They don't own their development. They don't own their just getting their shit in order. And that needs to happen. And hopefully, you guys have gotten a little bit of insight into me and how I'm viewing what's happening. That's not a lot of fun. Anyway, I love you guys. Love you, dude. Talk to you soon.